Today's episode of the One Piece podcast is sponsored by Kolektakon. Go to kolektakon.com/onepiece for all your One Piece Mega House merchandise. And to see images with today's podcast, download the AAC feed. When you hear this noise, a new image will show up on your computer or handheld device. Enjoy the show.
This is the unofficial One Piece podcast, episode 322 for the week of Monday, June 9th, 2014. My name is Zach.
And my name is Steve.
On today's podcast, we have a very special guest, translator for One Piece and Weekly Shonen Jump, Stephen Paul. Hey, Stephen.
Hey, what's up? I've been laid off for the next 2 weeks, so I have to find something else to do with my time.
Well, that's why you're here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Pray for Steven.
Today's goal is how many Simpsons references can we make in one show. And we also have our news chief. You may know him from most of the articles we post online. We have William. Hey, William.
Hello, nurse.
How's it going? Well, that's also from other things.
Congratulations on your new job.
Thank you. Oh, for real. All right, thank you.
Yes, you are a nurse.
Yes.
You are a nurse.
That's true. Thank you, Steve, so much for taking over last week.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It was nice listening to myself getting called out while in the car listening to the podcast. It was
It's always a pleasure to make fun of you.
There were comments after, like, whoa, you guys were just railing on Zach. I'm like, I've heard worse from you guys to my face.
Wait, you were listening in the car to that?
Yeah, and I did not hit anyone, which is the good thing.
But you tweeted out no. Did you do that? Well,
no, I didn't listen to the whole thing.
Zach,
because William, William, you may know that a normal podcast episode runs a little more than 2 hours, so I listened to a portion of it in the car and a portion of it out of the car.
Just so we're legally safe. Yeah.
Yes. Don't tweet and drive, folks, is what William's trying to say. On today's episode, we have Volume 74 recap. Stephen was nice enough to pick up the volume, and we're going to go through it with you guys. You could find it, of course, at any import store, online. Look around for it. It'll be out in English next year, probably. So pick it up, look forward to it. We're going to give you pretty much a sneak preview for anyone who does not speak Japanese. We also have an anime recap, a Toonami recap, and Piece Together. In the coming weeks, we have some pretty cool stuff coming at you. We will be re-airing a classic episode probably either this week or next week. That's going to be the one you voted on. You guys got to choose your favorite episode maybe a month ago at this point, you may remember. And we're going to be rerunning that. So that's a first. We don't normally do that, so enjoy that. Next week, we also have Ichnob recorded the Fanime panel. So we're going to put that in next week's episode, so I hope you guys enjoy that. And the One Piece manga returns the week after that. Let me get the date out there. I think that would be June, what is it? It's the 9th now,
That's
so the 23rd?
23rd, yeah.
But there's a ton to read right now in Weekly Shonen Jump anyway. There's Hunter x Hunter's back. One Punch Man is there occasionally. For now. Although All You Need Is Kill is done, so
it's
there's
done.
Less. Yeah, it's
you
killed.
can go watch it in the cinemas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard very good things about it, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I have heard
With world-renowned Japanese actor Tom Cruise.
He was the last samurai.
No, I wasn't really interested in it.
That's right.
A lot of people have been saying great things about it, so I might go on my way to go see it.
I think it got very good ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. I have to also see it. I'm speaking from other people saying things, and I also need to finish reading it. So I have a lot to do on that.
I'm digressing here, but there's also been actually the people that worked on All You Need Is Kill interviewed Tom Cruise during the Empire Awards. And there's an interview on that in the Japanese Young Jump magazine, by the way.
Let's hope that William tweets that, or else none of us will be able to find it. Okay, I'll retweet it if you tweet it, William. Yeah, so that's what's happening in the next couple weeks. If you haven't, I kind of toiled, Steve mentioned it, over a clip show that came out last week. I didn't really get to talk about it much, although I guess there's not much to talk about other than it is a clip show, and it took me 2 or 3 weeks to put together. So I even listened to it, and yes, the early stuff is painful to listen to. But if you think it's painful, remember, it's much more painful for me to listen to because it's my own voice, and for some reason I can't stand it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, though. There's a lot of really fun stuff in there. We did sing a lot more than I remember. I think Steve or someone posted about that.
Yeah.
I don't remember singing so much.
And we hoard out Tatum a lot once we had him on the show.
Yeah, when I went through,
have him do everything.
When I went through,
we're going to interview Brina Palencia. Let's have Tatum on.
Well, I was looking for clips, and the only ones I could find were about Tatum. They either were of Tatum or about Tatum. So I didn't.
About Schmidt, about Tatum.
I feel like we hadn't talked that much about him in the last couple, like a year or so, I would say. But I guess that clip show gave our fill for the year. There was a lot of Tatum. There's also, I think it's an exclusive interview. I couldn't remember if it was posted in the 100th episode or not, but I had it listed as exclusive. That's with Brina, Tatum, and us from Anime Central 2010. So enjoy that if you haven't. That's a lot of fun. That was our probably biggest convention to date for us, for the 4 of us, 3 of us. Steve, I forgot how many people were there.
In 2010, there was 4 of us. No, 3 of us.
3 of us. Anyway, yeah, so check that out if you haven't. I think that's everything, though, so why don't we get right into the show? You guys ready?
Sure.
Yes.
This is the news segment, and today we're going to do something a little special since I don't think we've had a news segment in a little while. We're bringing our editor for our website, OnePiecePodcast.com. We have Laura on. Hey, Laura.
Hello.
And we also have, I think we're calling him our chief correspondent. We have William. Hey.
Hello.
And I'm also here with Steve and Dennis.
News team.
News team, go!
It's Steve with sports.
That's why you haven't written anything yet.
Only wrestling. Only wrestling sports.
Yeah, only wrestling.
He only posts One Piece sports-related news, which is why he's written so little for the site.
It's like tonight's results from the Davy Back fight.
I'm really happy to have you guys on, especially Laura. This is the first time we've had you on, who's been doing a lot of the background stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mostly kind of in the shadows.
Lurking in the shadows.
Laura, she does not get enough credit on.
No, that's
sorry, Laura.
Plenty of credit.
So Laura, what's going on? What are the stories that you have for us today?
Okay, I wanted to talk about a couple different stuff that's mostly been coming out in the past week. First and foremost, the music group AAA, AAA, don't know how they say their name. They released a music video for their song Wake Up, which is the latest One Piece opening theme that's super long and includes dialogue. It's a really, really cool video. But they're doing this really cool bundle package with CD and DVD all coming together, and so that was released on June 7th, mostly for Japanese audiences, I believe. And they also revealed designs for their limited edition concert music cards, which are based on One Piece posters, wanted posters.
A really prototypical music video from what I remember. I saw it a few days ago. All the hand movements and very Japanese everything. I don't know how else to describe it. Yeah. I don't know. Wake Up. Do you guys still like Wake Up?
Not anymore.
I like
because of that video?
No.
I like the song, but I thought the opening itself was just so long.
Yeah.
Just went on forever and ever.
I do enjoy it. It's got a lot of energy to it. I'm just surprised it took this long for the single to come out. I mean, I can't really complain about that, but the funny thing is with the JoJo Stardust Crusaders theme, the full single was out that week the show came out. I'm like, really? Oh, Okay. I mean,
have to agree with you there.
No, it was I'm sorry. It was the week that the opening was used for the first time. So I was like,
I think that's less typical, though. I think that's more the exception.
But I was kind of surprised. I'm like, okay, so their opening theme comes out like the week of, and the One Piece theme still hasn't come out yet. I mean, we've had this theme since January.
Oh, the One Piece theme's been out. It's the full version that wasn't out.
Yeah,
This is the full version of
so I'm
Wake
talking
Up.
about full version.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I think the Attack on Titan theme took a similar amount of time. It took a while to come out. It was like a couple months.
And from what the reaction I see online for that theme, I'm sure people were yelling a lot.
Oh, yeah. They really wanted it.
Okay, what's next?
Okay, next is a special drawing that Ichiro Oda debuted in the newest Toriko volume, volume 29.5. It's if you guys don't know, Toriko is a Shonen Jump manga series. They recently did a crossover with One Piece. Not recently, it was like a year or something ago.
Yeah,
something like that.
At least a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So the latest volume 30 is coming out, and the official fan book, volume 29.5, is also coming out. And it has character files on all the characters that appeared in the manga, a Gourmet Worlds timeline and map, and then overviews of certain storylines. So it's a typical fan book. And there's also drawings of other famous manga artists of Toriko characters, and in the spirit of Toriko, the series. And they've been doing this for a couple different series. I think like they did it for One Piece, they did it for like Naruto and Bleach and stuff. So this is pretty typical of what they've been doing for Shonen Jump series. What Oda drew was a meat rose, which is actually less gross than it sounds.
I'm equally surprised.
Yeah, it's an actual rose made out of meat that he drew. And he said it was each of the flower petals has a different taste. The middle part is, not even going to try to pronounce that, middle part's a steak. It's delicious yet inexpensive. Look for it in
It's a
look for it in your
Chateaubriand.
Yes, that one. Look for it in your supermarket when it's discounted, and I doubt it's actually available in supermarkets.
I would totally buy it if it were, and it would be expensive.
I would totally buy it.
Yeah, I want Steve to make a drawing of that rose, meat rose, with how's he called? Cavendish, eating that.
Oh yeah, since he eats roses now.
Yes.
What about that?
I thought it'd be funnier if I just put it in the glass case like in Beauty and the Beast.
And escape falls after.
Instead of falling, it just starts to rot.
No, it falls onto the grill since there's like a grill below it looks like, so it's perfect.
Do it, Steve.
You probably want the beast to die, because then you could have a delicious dinner after.
To celebrate.
Where's the A1 flour? Some steak sauce on this.
Or it's like the dew is like barbecue sauce.
I do not have the kind of creative mind it takes to come up with a Toriko food, but
well, they're having a contest at Shonen Jump for it, I think.
It's not even like a contest. They said,
it's
never going to end. Just send ideas, and they might get chosen.
Right, that's what it was.
It's what the Japanese fans have been doing since Volume 1 or something. Like,
it's cool they're taking international requests for that too. Yeah. And I know Oda and I forget his name, the creator of Toriko, Shimabukuro. Yeah, are close. So that. Okay, yeah, but what's next?
Next is a gameplay video was released for One Piece Unlimited World Red. It's a preview video in line of other videos they've been releasing lately of Usopp and Chopper talking about kind of the new gameplay features. And there's a ton they talked about. In the game, they used a PS4, and so they talked about the different buttons on a PS3. PS3. And I talked about the different buttons that the PS3 can do. It's kind of lengthy, but basically they introduced like strong words, which are these motivating phrases that a character can say in order to make crewmates retrieve health or increase attack power. There's a special power gauge, which will refill very slowly in battle, and then once it's full, you can do a combo attack with your other crewmates. You can play as all the Straw Hats and a couple other different characters, I think, like Boa Hancock and a couple other characters, I think. And their combo attacks are usually like some of their most powerful attacks from the manga and anime, like Luffy's Gum Gum Elephant Gun, Frankie's Radical Beam, Robin's Milfleur, Gigantesco Mano Stomp. There's also an action button, which is one of the major things they showed in the video, which can do a ton of different things depending on the situation. It can counter, it can guard, it can evade. And again, each character has their own special moves they can do with that button. Like, Nami can steal things with it, which I think is super cool. You don't normally get to see that in the game. And Nika Robin can do her Millfleur attack, and Chopper can use all his different forms, like his guard point shown in the video, and Luffy can do his balloon move where he bounces back bullets and cannonballs. There's also a break rush, which is activated after an attack, which which levels up attack power, and then you can stagger enemies, and you can gain items more easily. And effective combos are what cause a break rush. So most of it's kind of what they talked about in the video. It's mostly attacks, mostly kind of showing bits of different gameplay footage. You get to see all the different Straw Hats forming their attacks, and get to see them working together and switching out. You also get to see the kind of enemies that'll be in the game, and it's enemies from all across One Piece, from before your time skip, from after, like Crocodile, Blackbeard. Blackbeard's got his cool outfit, I think, from the Wake Up video, was that?
Yeah, I can't remember if he had a different video during different outfit during that. Guess he probably did.
Yeah. There's also Lucci, Anel, Smiley, Caesar Clown, and even Whitebeard, which surprised me because Whitebeard isn't really a villain.
I guess it depends who you're talking to. But,
yeah, true.
Cool. Are there any other pieces of news, Laura, William?
Well,
that's the biggest stuff.
Yeah, and for all you One Piece fans that are going to Japan this summer, there's some places you might want to go. Like, as we mentioned in a post, there's going to be the usual. This last year's it was called United States of Odaiba, and this year it's also going to feature at the same place near the Fuji Television studio, a One Piece area designs.
It's just to the right of the giant Gundam. That's
if it's lost, yeah. If it's the same place, I think it is. There's gonna be another One Piece area. Then
just bring a fan.
Yeah,
that's all.
Bring a fan and no gray t-shirts. There's also going to be a reopening of the One Piece segment in a apparently famous water park in the Kagawa Prefecture. That was remodeled and will show some how's it called, One Piece themed, New World themed, Punk Hazard, Fishman Islands, water attractions, etc. So go to Kagawa, and if you're going to Osaka, be sure to go to the United States of the Universal Studios Japan, where you will be able to, if you're lucky, at least get a ticket for the One Piece Premium Show,
which features Ace all over the place. That's all I know about.
Oh, this one is different. That one was
isn't that? Oh, I thought that was the summer one. Oh,
no, that's the spring one. The summer one is an original story, and is going to feature
a piece.
I'm sorry. Close. It's going to feature. Well, apparently, it's going to feature Fujitora, Kid, the New World's version of the One Piece Straw Hat crew, and it's going to feature, I think, Law as well. Could be mistaken. There's not a lot of info about the story out yet, but it's going to be between July 4th to September 30th. So yeah, go check that out. There's also, if you're in USJ, you might also just go to the apparently One Piece Water Battle, which I believe is going to be another kind of water park attraction. No new info as of yet. And you could also go check, if you're in Tokyo, the Baratier restaurant, and in USJ there's also the Sanji's pirate restaurants. So there's more than enough to do in Japan for all you.
Well, you basically recap the entire OPP Japan film except in 2014 instead of 2013.
Yes.
Because that's just about everything we did.
Without kickstarting.
Without kickstarting. So if you have the amount of money we raised, $7,000 something, you could go there, bring a video camera, and take a video of everything you do. So have
send
fun.
it to us.
Yeah. I definitely recommend just about all of those things. They're all a lot of fun. Just remember, it is the summer and it's excruciatingly hot. I know friend of the show, Matt Cohn, will be there, so I think you just helped him out with his itinerary a bit, hopefully.
There's also, if he's going to, he might also just go to the I think it's Nagasaki prefecture, the Hestenbos, with the huge Thousand Sunny boat.
Oh yeah,
boat.
I forgot that's in Nagasaki.
So, yeah.
The Kagawa thing I heard was I heard Kagawa was very nice from Greg, and he was recommending that one. It's like a water park, so that sounds fun. We did not get to do that because that would have been a lot. I
was thinking of going since I'm close to Kagawa prefecture.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've heard it's a really cool place. I just next time I go, I'll go there.
Yeah.
Laura, before we go, where can people contact you, find you?
You guys can follow me on Twitter at Laura Evelyn G, or you can follow me on Tumblr, elliegillespie.tumblr.com.
Cool. So definitely follow her there, and keep an eye out for, even when it's not labeled with Laura's name, she is editing everything that goes out. So just about everything. So thank you so much for all the good work you guys do. And hopefully we could do this again. I like this it's a different type of news segment. So why don't we go into the next segment? Ready, guys?
Yep.
Ready?
This is the manga volume recap for volume 74, Ever at Your Side. And with us to really go through it with us, we have Stephen, of course, the translator for One Piece and Weekly Shonen Jump.
Mm-hmm.
And we still have William with us, who is very immersed since he lives over in Japan. So you know about volume 74 in One Piece pretty well, I would say.
Yep.
And, of course, we have Steve with us for colorful commentary.
Yes.
Do we all have the same reaction to everything?
No.
Okay. So, Stephen...
Dabba, do.
You wanna start us off?
Okay. Well, speaking of colorful, this cover, I feel like I'm at the movie theater buying a box of Good and Plenty. Like, it's just all purple and white and pink. And of course we have kind of, I guess, a little bit of a surprise to me. I don't know that we have Sugar basically, maybe not front and center, but she's basically the centerpiece of this volume illustration. As usual, very busy. We got Luffy in the foreground carrying the soldier and Violet. Pika is the ground here. Totally white, which I don't know. Did you guys imagine him being that color? For some reason, I thought he was going to be like yellowish.
Me
or something.
too, but
maybe
I think this is Pika indoors, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what stone he's using, I guess.
Yeah. I think also maybe just the other characters just really needed to pop right here. I think if Pika was like yellow, it would be a little too. I don't know. I think it's just
that skin tone.
I think his color just depends on where he's at.
I think also I just am predisposed to think of him as being yellow because that's what the stone golem from Dragon Quest looks like, and with the same brick pattern, and that's a very sort of recognizable monster in Japanese stuff. But we have Frankie with his bazooka hair and Usopp crying and yelling, doing what he does best, and Treble in Senor Pink with some of his ladies. So yeah, very, very colorful. And when you remove the cover, I love that Oda is continuing to do this. He has done another sort of retouching of the illustration to slip Panda Man in there, and it's Sugar's grapes that she puts on her fingers and then pops into her mouth are little Panda Man heads, which
probably
is very
the most
cute
disturbing.
and also very disturbing. Yes.
Sorry to ruin that, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I would love for Oda to just keep doing this and like just keep messing around with the illustrations. And in fact, I think even you can even see on the spine of the illustration underneath the cover, it has the little cutouts of Sugar and Trouble, and you can actually see that it's still the Panda Man grapes on that separate illustration. And then on the back cover, we have something I don't think Oda has ever done this before, or at least not quite like this. We have instead of just the kind of generic map, we have a whole collage of like all the flashback scenes between the soldier and Rebecca as a younger girl. And I guess
soldier son, you've been hurt before.
Yeah, very very tragic. Lots of emotions in this in this collage, but that was a bit interesting. I mean, obviously that stuff is in the volume, but I kind of wonder what the reasoning was for doing this, since it's kind of out of left field for the design team.
I think it's probably just because the Panda Man story is done. They're probably trying to figure out new things they could do.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a complete guess.
I just forgot all about Rebecca's little birthday party. It's very cute. Like, it's sad. It's very cute too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like those scenes a lot. So it's nice stuff. Now on the inside cover, we have, as usual, Oda's comment, and he has a kind of a slightly menacing illustration here of I think this is one of the 7 lucky gods. I could be wrong about that. I don't know. Are you versed in them at all, William? Maybe Greg would know as well. Like, there's the 7 different gods. Oh man, I can't remember their names.
For me, he looked more like not so much like one of the 7 gods, but more like the guy who imported Buddhism, I think, to Japan. I don't remember how he's called. I should look that up.
Well, he is okay. He's got the long dangling earlobes and some scruffy facial hair there, and he is chowing on a mochi, a little rice dumpling. And Oda's comment is, sometimes every once in a while you get this the kind of trend in food to deliver that kind of mochi sensation, the kind of chewy and sticky type of texture. And I'd like to announce that I have discovered a food that has this mochi-like texture. It's called mochi. And so here we go, volume 74, the mochi volume. And then he even has a note. It seems like he always has to do this, where he points out that there are 11 chapters instead of 10, but the price is the same as a typical volume. So thank you to all of the people who helped that happen.
Couldn't Oda have just personally donated? Like, that could happen.
Yeah. They could have. I don't know. Well, I suppose, when you're contributing a large percentage of Shueisha's total book sales, that
also
the little margins make a big difference. So I guess he feels the need to be more careful with that than probably the other authors. Okay, and the contents of this, we go from 732 to chapter 742. So that covers like the kind of the first showdown between the first chapter here is kind of Frankie and Senor Pink outside the House of Toys, their first meeting, and when Usopp and Robin first reach the underground port. And we go all the way to the last chapter ending with the unforgettable sight of Usopp's eyes turning into corkscrews and scaring the shit out of
That's
Sugar.
last page?
So, yep, that is the last page. So that is the content for this this volume, and I guess we should just head right into the SBS. So let's see here.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Steve, you're supposed to
boy.
be. I was going to say, you're the colorful commentary.
Oh, I am excited and ready.
That's what I call some exciting commentary.
So the SBS call is from someone who like winds themselves up. Okay, here we go. Ready? SOS. And then Oda's like, oh no, this guy needs help. Help him. So that is the. Yep.
Start doctoring, bro.
And
not in there.
yeah. The follow-up question is someone who wrote in the Tontada style and says, "Odachi, I forgive you," and he's like, "What? You forgive me for what? Did my joke fall flat? Did I do something wrong?" And after that, we have Cavendish's birthday, which this one is a real stretch. So they went from Cavendish to cabbage, which is a vegetable, which in Japanese is yasai, and then they turned yasai into numbers in the kind of the way that Japanese letters correspond to the various numbers to be August 31st. So that is Cavendish's birthday. And then following that, we have another interesting choice of questions here. Something that happened to be featured in Greg's column on the official One Piece website, onepiece.com, pointing out in chapter 731, when the soldier is elaborating on Operation SOP, that there is a wide shot with a bunch of the Tontadas, and wow, well, would you look at that? It seems that several of them are based on the Straw Hats, and we have little Chopper and Nami and Sanji and Brook and Luffy and Zoro and even a little Panda Man, which is something that Greg pointed out in one of his columns. And the person who sent in the postcard says, "Oh well, I'm sure my beloved Oda Sensei must have some very deep meaning behind all of this. Please explain it all, Clarissa."
Well, I don't know what the answer is, but I'm going to guess that it means Panda Man is joining the Straw Hats finally, right?
Well, Oda says, okay, yeah, good job. You found it. And the reason, the reason is that I challenged the readers to find them, and I lost the challenge. So there you go.
Yeah,
you can't slip anything past us. And that is all for the first SBS section. Let's see here. Oops, pardon me. And the let's see. The next one is handwritten. I'm actually not sure why he used the text of this one, but in any case, it's someone who looks like a kid. The handwriting is pretty bad, and he says, "Yeah," and he says, "Hey, Oda, I was playing Pants Man with my little sister, where we put our underwear on our head. What about you, Oda? Would you like to play? All you have to do is put the pants on your head, and then say, if you don't put pants on your head, I will never forgive you. So why don't you try that? It's fun." And Oda does what is called in Japanese a noritsukomi, which is where he goes, "Oh yeah, that does sound fun. Wee! Oh, knock it off." He's like, "That's disgusting. That's so vulgar of you." Which is in other words, you play along with the joke for about 2 seconds and then you snap on him.
I feel like I've seen a lot of that in anime.
Yeah. It's definitely a very noticeable kind of pattern. And the next reader says, "Robin's hands are very beautiful. Please let me rub myself on them." And Oda says, "What, you pervert? And he's like, I'm just so tired of the PTA getting on my back about these questions. Please stop sending in, questions that are vulgar and not graceful enough. And so the next one is actually a somewhat serious question, finally. And it says that, a long time ago, Oda pointed out that, he feels the emotions of the scene when he draws them. And so this person is asking, what is the scene that made you cry the most as you drew it? And his answer was the scene all the way back at the end of Alabasta, where I'm trying to remember the exact point that this happens. I think it was after they detonated the bomb, but before the rain came down. And Vivi is just screaming, "Stop fighting! Stop fighting! Stop fighting!" And like no one can hear her because it's the war is raging below. And he said that was so hard, it was so painful that I almost couldn't draw it, which is interesting. It's reaching back pretty far to call on that scene in particular.
Yeah, I would not have guessed that.
Yeah. Or I would have thought it would be like, the scene with the, holding up the arms at the when they leave Alabasta or something like that.
If anything, yeah.
This is just too happy. I can't try this. This is too happy. No one should be this happy.
I'm just going to
go kill Ace now.
And then the final question of this section was, if Marco's dick got cut off, could he regrow it? And he says, "Oh, yes, it could." Hey, stop that!
So the same exact joke.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
What kind of G-rated term are we going to use for his?
Maybe I'll go with
his Johnson, so to speak.
Yeah. His Marcus. I don't know.
That's why they pay you the big bucks.
Yeah. So the next section starts with another birthday one. This is for Fujitora, and this one is going to be August 10th. Again, totally Japanese derived, so it won't really make any sense to explain it anyways. But the next question, which is worth hearing, even though we all knew the answer, was is it true that Fujitora is based on Shintaro Katsu, who was the actor who is most identified? He played most of the Zatoichi roles, although the series of films is very long, and they've switched actors more recently. In the person writing in says, "I don't know who that is, but mommy and daddy said so that's why I'm asking." And Oda's answer is, yeah. So this is long enough ago that the kids probably are not familiar with him, but in my generation, everyone knows Katsushin, as they call him. That would be the nickname, I suppose. And he acted in a whole lot of movies under the title of Zatoichi. And let's see, it was basically between TV series and I'm sure plenty of TV movie specials and feature films and all that. There were over 100 different films of this shot. So it's a very famous period piece sort of thing. And then he starts talking about, Katsushin. So yeah, well, he really hated his scripts. And so when I get into the TV series, and then the text just basically shrinks and fades into the middle of the page, like he's just droning on like your old grandpa or something, which is it's kind of funny. And then on the other Admiral tip, we have the last question here where someone sort of comes in joking, like, what about Marine Admiral Momo Usagi, which would mean like peach or pink rabbit. And he's like, when is she going to show up? Oh man, sexy dynamite Momo Usagi. Yep, she's just going to seduce or like knock everyone out with her glamorous beauty. And Oda is like, Momo Usagi? Well, let's see. We got Kizaru, Fujitora, Ryokugyu, Momo Usagi? And he's like, oh, right. Of course, yes, the Vice Admiral Momo Usagi. She was in the running to be an admiral. Yeah, of course. And then he drew a picture of Momo Usagi, who of course is just made up right on the spot. And he supposedly based her off of a young Michio Kogure, which is another actress. Presumably, I have not heard of her, but she's there saying, it's don't be so standoffish, or something like that. She's kind of playing coy. So there we go. Now we have a fictional admiral who is not an admiral there.
Well, I guess we have a new filler arc that we could do.
Great, yeah. Perfect.
When a piece meets the new filler admiral.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Dreams do come true.
And the next section here is from this is a postcard from, or a series of postcards, I think, from a husband and wife that carved these pictures into erasers, like as a stamp, eraser stamp. So then you put the eraser in ink and then use it as a stamp. And they made a multiple choice question here. And I'm sure we'll have to put the pictures in the AAC file.
For this entire segment, they're in the AAC file. Yep.
The four choices are pick which is the correct outfit, or which is the correct treble, basically. And it's four people with Treble's face, and very clearly one of them is Treble. And then we also have Baby Five, Dellinger, and Doflamingo.
I'm wondering how Steve reacted upon seeing a Treble Dellinger.
Very calmly.
Really?
Well, what am I supposed
This is not
to
the same.
It's not the same, man. You killed it, man. It's not the same. I just, how would a Treble Dellinger sound? Like, hi there, everybody.
That sounds a little like
let's all go out shoot shopping.
Sounds like a King of the Hill character of some sort. I don't know which one.
I don't know.
It's nice to know that Dellinger has caught on in some way.
I just like how the Dellinger and Doflamingo trebles just look like they're dancing. Right?
Yeah.
Like you just had too many drugs.
Smile. It's called Smile.
Too much smile.
Yeah. I do like Oda's answer too, where he's like, "Okay, can you figure it out? Turn to the next page to find the answer." And he's like, "What? You don't need the answer for this," because it's pretty obvious.
Sorry,
but he says
I'm sorry, just the treble as Doflamingo. It looks like he's doing just some sort of like tribal dance. Like there should be like a fire right there. It's like
I feel like it's a jig, like someone blowing into some sort of jug, like.
I didn't say stop.
I'm glad you caught that one. Okay.
Yeah. And Oda basically says, "Yeah, I know this is kind of a weird question, but I just really liked the drawings, or the carvings, I guess. So that's why he put it in." And he also has just a total side note here, which is that in volume 72, he had written that the Kurita Colosseum was based on the Colosseum of ancient Greece, and he says that was a mistake. It was actually ancient Rome.
Oh.
The management regrets this error, I guess. So that is that one. And now we have this. This is another goofy question, but I kind of like this one. It was, if it says that Luffy can use his Conqueror's Haki to knock out 50,000 people. So how many people could Nami knock out with her happiness punch? Which a
lot of callbacks to Alabasta.
Yeah, exactly. From the bath, when she takes off her towel and shows everyone, including Vivi's father the display, and it costs 100,000 berries for each of them. And so Oda goes into this answer. He says, "Yeah, well, this is it's a good question. That's it's trickier. It's trickier than you think because the thing is, the happiness punch affects. It's a visual attack, so it affects anyone who can see it." So when it comes to power, obviously it wouldn't match up to Luffy. But if she was on a visual Dendenmushi, then Luffy can only send those hockey waves so far. But Nami could attack the entire world watching on CNN or whatever,
or just the internet.
Thanks to Jose for broadcasting that, obviously.
Thank you, Jose.
Thank you,
We
Jose.
interrupted
This
on
podcast,
Nami's
of course.
breasts.
And he says, and it also does, financial damage with the cost for each individual watching. So yeah, it doesn't do the physical damage, but in many ways, it's even more nefarious.
I'm curious if they did have to pay. We never saw that scene. Like, all right, everybody, sell my goods.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's like a student loan. It's like a debt that accrues over time. Because she's mentioned since, I think, what was it, Zoro owed her money?
Oh, that was back in Logtown.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's mentioned
Luffy
it since
did too.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, I would like to mention I really like some of the headers for this month. We're talking about callbacks to Alabasta, Mr. Seven and Miss Father's Day. I bet you almost forgot they were characters.
I did.
Yeah.
This is a great one, and I really like the Admiral one too. I thought that one was really creative, and the Viola one is really nifty too.
Yeah, the Admiral one. I guess I forgot to mention that one, but yeah, that is the original three admirals, and they're sort of doing like they're kind of doing like the movie walk away from the explosion sort of thing, but it's each of their powers and their sort of Logia bodies are kind of being ripped apart, I guess, but in a way that spells the S, B, and S. So
it's so good. You even look at a small thumbnail of it, and you clearly still see the letters SBS. This person did a hell of a job. Really, making it.
And if you ever wanted to see Akainu get what was coming to him punched through the chest twice, this is what it would look like.
Except it doesn't kill him.
Yeah,
it only makes him angry.
It ain't fair. Yeah, and the next question here, we are really scraping the bottom of the barrel for miscellaneous facts to tell about the Straw Hats. We have the bedtimes and wake up times of all of these Straw Hats. What you really needed to know. Luffy's, he goes to bed when he feels tired, and he wakes up when his eyes open, which Oda points out here is about 5 hours of sleep on average. Zoro goes to bed at 4 a.m. and wakes up at 7, plus naps throughout the day. So
Zoro's Oda.
Yeah, or my grandpa, just constantly waking and falling asleep throughout the day. Nami goes to bed at 11 and wakes up at 7.
Well, you were mentioning before with Zoro, he takes naps throughout the day, so that's why he sleeps the least.
Oh my God, he's an old man.
Well, he does have that old fogey stomach, man.
Who put these stairs here? Slow down.
He's like an old man with super strength.
Yeah. Usopp goes to bed at 1 and wakes up at 8. Sanji goes to bed at midnight and wakes up at 5. That's really early. Yeah. Chopper goes to bed at 9 in the evening and wakes up at 7 plus naps. So he's clearly the teenager of the bunch.
Yes.
Sleeping all over the place.
Although he should be up until all hours of the morning and sleeping in very late. That's the thing.
Yeah. Robin goes to bed at 11 and wakes up at 6. Frankie sleeps from 1 a.m. to 9, and Brooke, like Sanji, goes to bed at midnight and wakes up at 5.
So I think what's appropriate here, Stephen, is that the 5 of us here, Dennis has joined us, I think, if he's around still.
Yes.
I think we should go around and say who we most closely match here, right? I think that's fair. Steve, you want to start?
I mostly resemble Usopp.
Dennis?
Strangely, same. Also Usopp.
William?
Sorry. Frankie, probably, because I need my sleep.
But you also go to sleep late.
Oh, I forgot he was 9. I'm going to switch mine to Frankie.
You can't. It's too late.
I like Frankie better. I'm choosing Frankie. No, actually.
No take backsies.
Stephen?
Yeah, I'm definitely Frank. I mean, basically, shoot Frankie's times ahead 1 hour, and that's my daily schedule, basically.
And unfortunately, I am Robin right now, but I may soon be Nami. Or maybe even not.
Zach, you got hot.
Congratulations.
Your hair is orange, too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm colorblind.
I want to build a world map.
What did I become, Jerry Seinfeld? I don't sound like Jerry Seinfeld.
I don't want to be a female pirate.
Sorry, Stephen. Oda
also mentions that it strikes me as this is kind of unnecessary to point out, but he does say, these are just average times. They're not the same every day because they have to take 2-hour shifts watching the ship at night, so they're almost never asleep all at the same time. Unless there's some kind of trouble afoot.
I guess it's their preferential sleep time if they have
which treble. Which treble are we talking about? Are we talking about regular treble or Baby 5 treble or Dellinger treble or good treble?
Bad jokes. Those are mine.
I guess, yeah. I was trying to think if there was some kind of joke pun you could make about time with their names, but no, there's nothing. So our final SBS, which the header here is the soldier basically doing his Operation SOP thing, but it's Operation SBS. He doesn't even really allow. It's like there's no wordplay here. He's just like, it stands for SB, and it's the same. Shitsumon oboshu shimasu, which is the same. The title, the actual title of the segment. So there you go. But I guess this is kind of replacing our standard. Oda has to draw the supernovas or the crew in some different state. This time we are getting the Jolly Rogers of all of the other supernovas that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, this is a cool one. I like this.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I don't even know. Like, should we actually go through these? I mean, they're all pretty self-explanatory.
Well, I have the AAC feed, so we should probably at least say a little something about our thoughts, I guess.
Thank God, Zach. Okay. Thank God Zach is hosting this week.
Well, on the other hand, I mean, Stephen, you must have been relieved seeing this SBS and not having to go hunting for some, random minutia.
That was definitely nice.
I guess we could go through it and just say thoughts. First, thoughts on the Scratchman of Pooh. Anyone who wants to chime in.
I kind of wonder obviously the keyboard thing is pretty clear. It's his music thing and his teeth, but I'm not sure what's up with like the fiery chain and the lightning bolt type stuff.
The chain is his hair.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
It took me a little bit too, because I was like, oh, what's the flame mean? Oh, it's his ponytail. The lightning bolt. Has he had some sort of lightning bolt on him?
You see, that I don't know. I don't know.
Let me just Google.
Typing away.
Just hold on. I
don't even have to add sound effects. It's perfect. Oh, I'm gonna wait. No. Any other thoughts on Apu while he Googles?
Before Steve came in and revealed that it was actually his hair, I was thinking, why is there Miko, kind of chain from Shaman King in that drawing.
Yeah.
Well, the lightning bolt, his hair, his hair kind of makes lightning bolt shapes. So
Okay.
there you go, everybody.
All right, Diaz Drake.
His hair is
Dennis.
braided in a strange way. So yeah.
Cool. Okay. Diaz Drake, or as other people call him incorrectly, X Drake.
It's a thing. It's a symbol. It's. I guess it's good that he doesn't have a Jolly Roger, kind of like how Z had one in film Z. Because right. I hate pirates, so I'm gonna have a Jolly Roger. That was the one thing that kind of doesn't make sense about him. But I mean, it's the least exciting one.
Yeah, I like the crossed swords making the X. That's nice. It felt a little obvious, but
Yeah.
I guess we should go to our favorite character then, your Rouge.
It looks like some sort of tiki character. Like you stick a straw in there and you have a drink out of it.
Oh my god, I would totally do that. Yeah,
like some kind of Crash Bandicoot kind of tiki item.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's perfect. Yeah, that perfectly describes it.
Pretty straightforward. He has a scar above his left eye.
Did he always have? I don't think he had that before the time skip.
Well, let me Google that.
Okay. Well, while that goes on, any other thoughts?
It's got the usual. I like the.
He's always had the scar.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the the prayer bead sort of necklace thing too. Mm-hmm. Fits with his character.
Then I guess we should talk about Kid. What do you guys think about that one?
Figured Kids would probably be one of the coolest, but it is.
Yeah.
I like the addition of the knives and the crossbones.
And I think one of the knives are on fire.
Kids is like,
I wonder if he had like a way lamer design first, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, Ace is dead. Now I can use fire in my Jolly Roger."
I think Kids Crew is just like the One Piece heavy hair metal band. They just do everything. It's like skull and crossbones and fire and that's what reminds me of
They're the
Kids
Rammstein of One Piece.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. I imagine it being like One Piece meets Metalocalypse kind of thing going on there.
That's pretty much. I want to see it. Yeah, I want to see a Kid Pirate spinoff.
I would totally watch that. Yeah, that would be perfect.
I am Eustace Kid, and we're totally metal.
If Brendan Small is listening to this, which he totally isn't, do it now. Talk to Oda about it.
I thought he was.
Okay, next one, Basil Hawkins.
Freaking, I don't have no one else to play off this, but instantly thought of Triple freaking H. Triple H from wrestling,
Really?
Of course. The symbol, yeah. I just see the symbol and I see the long hair, and the needles that are making the crossbones kind of look like sledgehammers. So yeah, I immediately thought of Triple H.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see that now.
The Triple H Pirates, they bury you.
Other thoughts on Hawkins?
And they'll also
thoughts?
marry your very important daughter.
Apparently, we have things to say about Triple H, but not a lot about Hawkins.
Yeah,
It's about right. Yeah.
I kind of like that. I kind of like the cross. It's different. It doesn't use. I know a lot of these aren't using the bones, but it was kind of a different symbol. I like that it stands out.
Yeah,
It was actually
cross, like
Yeah.
the Celtic one. Okay.
Yeah, it's a Celtic cross. I believe. I think it kind of makes it stand out from the other ones. It's actually probably one of my favorites of this. I mean,
Plus the scarecrow face. I actually I do like that design a lot. The Hawkins scarecrow
cool.
design. Yeah. We just have not seen a lot of him, and he was kind of boring when we saw him. That's the only problem.
He also looked bored too.
He was very bored about everything, and he just looks at cards. And I'm not a big tarot guy, card guy, whatever you call it.
yeah.
then you must not like JoJo Part 3.
Well, I will watch that. I am gonna watch that. Actually, this week I may have time to do that. Next one is Capone. What do you guys think of that one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and actually, before we do this, I'm not sure if this has been mentioned before. I feel like it probably has, but his pirate crew is named the Fire Tank Pirates.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I knew that.
Okay, all right.
It's a weird name.
It did not ring a bell for me. Yeah.
That didn't ring a bell for me either. So thank you for pointing out that to me.
No, I remember seeing that somewhere before, but I like his. I like how it's a castle, or I'd say a fortress.
This is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I have to agree with Dennis.
Yeah.
I like this
I
one.
really like. I think he has the most interesting power of all the supernovas. Like, Kid is really cool, and I love Drake's dinosaur, but like Capone's is just so weird. Like, his power is so just bizarre. I love it.
I'm shocked he's still alive. Weren't we all saying he was like, well, again, unless you see a body, we've learned that lesson several times before. Let's end with Bonnie then. That seems appropriate.
It looks like Bart Simpson's photobombing her Jolly Roger.
Wow, I did not even think about that.
Nice.
Let's throw $1 in the Simpsons reference jar.
I do
it's
really
already
enjoy
full.
that one.
It's already full this
it's
week.
full.
Crap. It's full.
Yeah. No, I really do like it though. It's a lot different, and I think it perfectly represents her. I believe that's pizza.
Yes, I
And
think
if it
I
is-
hope so. Yes.
And if it is, it's my favorite. Right
I
now.
don't- otherwise-
actually.
I don't
Go
know
ahead,
I don't know what the hell else you take a bite out of, but apparently she has shark
really-
teeth too.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
I was really
pizza's
hoping
nice.
that if it was pizza, that the bones behind him would be like chicken wings instead. That'd be great.
Oh my god, yeah. Can we see the back of her Jolly Roger? And then you see it's just a bunch of chicken wings.
Someone should drop
Should
an art for
I
that.
send the SBS to Oda now? Like, could you just show the back of the Bonnie Jolly Roger?
Yeah.
Just
William,
check
send it in.
something.
Yeah. Now this is the last section. This is the last question in the SBS of this volume. But I know, William, you noticed at least one thing in this volume that did not seem right. Did you want to talk about that?
Sure, I sent in the letter yesterday, so I should be the first one to arrive to Oda. At least my stamp will be dated June 9th, so I don't mind it. And usually I don't really look for these things, but while I was reading the Jump chapter, I noticed in chapter 736 that the scene with the three intruders coming into the Colosseum to protest against Rebecca winning. There's the middle guy is actually wearing a shield, and in one of the panels, like in the volume on the left page, middle
Let's see.
column,
It looks
left
like
panel,
it's page 91 of the volume.
page 91 of the volume. Like the fourth panel of the page, there's the three, like, of the three guys you see only two guys, but the middle guy is actually lost his shield.
Yeah.
And in the panels above him and below him, he's wearing a shield, so that was left unfixed. And so I send
you can really tell too, because the top one, the first panel, and then the fourth one, it's like the exact same pose. He's the exact same size on the panel. Like it's really obvious that it should be there, but it's not.
Like in every other panel, he has a shield, but in that one he doesn't.
And I'll say right now, I don't think I'm going to have the AAC pictures for these, but for when you guys get the volume, please look for
Yeah. Or if you still have the issue of Shonen Jump, let's see. It's
that would be even better.
1, 2,
I took a
3,
picture.
4. It's the fifth page of chapter 736.
I have it if you want to. Because
Okay,
I
yeah.
added it into my letter to Oda.
If I have the picture available, then I'll throw it in.
That included a pretty good pun, if I might add. If I do say so myself. So yeah,
Good idiom use, yeah.
Yeah, I hope Oda will pick that up. Would be fun to see. Well, it would be fun to see since usually I never find stuff like this. I never actually look for this.
And I saw a few other things. I think they were mentioned in the thread on Arlong Park as well, just minor retouches that he did. I think there was one page where Sugar, like her dress was way larger or longer than usual, so he redrew it. I think that was the page where she and Treble are sort of introduced for the first time, or together at least, inside the officers' tower.
Read on Arlong Park also found a bunch of little changes that were made.
Yeah, I think one of the things with the giant fish in the Colosseum was like the wrong number was tattooed on it, or something like that.
From 8 to 2, I think. Which who would notice that? And what does that even? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess. They also, it was I forget which Tontata it was, referred to Diamante but they used the treble, the club symbol.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Of course, I had to tell him, like, okay, just use the right logo, please, not the wrong one. And then I think there was one other minor one too, which is like the very last panel of the entire volume, which is, after Usopp passes out and knocks out Sugar as well. Like the last panel was of Leo, and I thought this was weird when I was translating it originally, but the original line, he's just literally going, ah! Like he's not even saying anything, and it's the last panel of the chapter, but now he's saying, like, oh, she got knocked out, or he got knocked out, or they're both knocked out, or, something along those lines. So it's a little more explanatory now.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
For the Home Alone reference.
And any other points about Volume 74 you guys want to go through? Anything interesting?
I don't know. I think that might be about it.
Well, just if you are on Twitter, there's apparently after every volume, there's people who come on Twitter and say, "Oh, that's my picture," and then they post apparently pictures they post they were featured in previous SBS, like the Admiral SBS header was drawn by the same person who did the other headers, like Garp's bowling ball, cannonball lineup, SBS header of a previous volume, etc.
Was that one of the? I mean, I follow some of them on Twitter. I know there's that one that's just like incredible. Starts with a P, and I'm forgetting his name now.
Ponyo.
Ponyo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he's had a lot of.
I don't think that's him now.
No.
It's kind of funny because it's obviously they don't put the Usopp gallery like the original Japanese ones in the Viz volumes, but if you've ever seen the original Shueisha editions, they have like a half dozen pages of this fan art, and they always say like, please use black and white images because we can't print them in color, and a lot of times they just get washed out. But people always send them in to color. But I noticed when William was retweeting some of those pictures that, you could actually see the original color artwork next to the version that appeared in the volume. So that was kind of cool just to see where they originally came from.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I do always enjoy Usopp Gallery. That's always a fun treat.
Yeah.
Just hope they're gonna put the digital Usopp Gallery on the official One Piece website soon.
And I know sometimes we have listeners who actually, get stuff in. I think Alina James and CCC from AP have both gotten Usopp Gallery stuff. So if that happens to you, tweet us. Let us know. We'll tweet your picture. That's a really cool honor to be able to be part of that. Okay, so I think that's all for Volume 74. You guys ready for the next segment?
Sure.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have known to go to the next segment unless I asked. This is a special Pieces of Eight segment. This week we're going to highlight Kolektakon since they are our sponsor. And they also have some really cool stuff that Dennis here is going to go through. For those who don't know, you could go to kolektakon.com/OnePiece for your Mega House One Piece merchandise. So, what's going on, Dennis? What kind of cool merch can people look forward to in the coming months?
Yeah, these will soon be available for pre-order on Kolektakon's website. And these were all photos that you could find on their blog that were taken at the Mega Hobby Spring 2014 convention that happened in Japan Memorial Day weekend for us in America. So it was a couple weeks ago. But we got some smaller POPs here. It is the Thunder Soldier and little kid Rebecca. Aw, adorable. I like that Thunder Soldier comes with his rifle that he doesn't really use too often. It looks like Rebecca's arms can be swapped out. I'm assuming her face can be swapped out as well. So we're getting more kid ones with, Momonosuke coming out in the near future too. So that's pretty nice. Like that these have color as well, because most of the ones that they debut, they're usually just in grayscale prototypes.
What's next here?
Let's skip Momonosuke and let's go to Fujitora or Admiral Isho. I haven't seen him in color for a POP. I didn't realize that they were coming out with his POP this quickly as well. So looks pretty cool. We see him in this image unsheathing his sword cane. So I don't know if maybe... I know Zoro is taking him on right now, but I would like to see him and Brooke share sword cane techniques. What do you guys think of the paint job so far?
Looks nice. This is not my expertise.
That's fine. I don't know. I'm not that crazy about the sculpt of the Fujitora. It's very stagnant to me.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what other accessories it comes with. I know that the other Admiral POPs, they're kind of all just sort of standing there. I think for like Kizaru, you can at least point his hand up so it looks like he's shooting you with the laser beam. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Next photo, here we have Violet.
Wow, look at the size of those Magumbos.
I gotta say, in grayscale, there's like a creepiness to all of that.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy because that dress top is super tight, so I think you can see,
That doesn't make sense.
I guess is she actually wearing a dress? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I'm not sure how well this POP will do. I don't know how popular she is as a character.
It's a beautiful sculpt, though.
It is. I do really like the dancing pose that they gave her. Mm-hmm. Nice introduction. I don't know if she'll come with an additional face sculpt though, but we'll see.
One with a rose in the mouth.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, because it's not like you can move her hands, so she's doing her eye powers and stuff.
Right.
And the next one here is Little Sugar.
Not expecting that one.
Me neither. Wow. I don't know if they're going to get the entire Doflamingo family out there. Hopefully not.
Dellinger. Would you buy that,
really?
Steve?
Really? I was like praying to God for a mock Vice. Yeah, of course Dellinger, and of course I'd buy Dellinger. And I have to buy Dellinger.
You kind of have to. You kind of invented that character.
It's my thing. It's what I do.
How about a senior pink one?
What's next?
Well, if you go to their other pose, here we have, it's a new Ace POP. This is like version, I guess this is the third one that they had out, because there was a first one where he's kind of leaning back, JoJo pose style. Second one where you can put him back to back with Luffy from Marineford. Here we have third one with his not often seen backpack, but something that a lot of vendors and stuff have been carrying that I've seen at conventions recently.
Oh, right. His backpack.
Such an important key element to the story.
Can't leave home without it. I really hope he has the hat too, kind of to recreate, Alabasta.
I think he should.
Yeah.
They'll, similar to the other ones, they just have a separate head for the hat, or they might even have the hat.
It's like ever since Marineford, it's like everyone's forgotten that Ace owned a hat.
Yeah, a really cool hat too.
It was a nice hat.
It's a good hat.
Yeah.
Free hat. I'm sorry, keep going.
Next up, we have another Nami POP, and this one is kind of like a sequel to where it was just released. They had Nami pre-time skip wearing Luffy's clothes. This one is Nami wearing post-time skip Luffy's outfit, sort of.
And Jesus Christ, it's worse.
Yeah, those crisscrossing straps are supposed to represent Luffy's scar. You could see
that's what it represents.
Yeah, the frilly sleeves that are where the forearms are, and shorts and sash. So, expecting a similar price, I guess, to the other one.
Okay.
Lastly,
she could have worn a bra. She could have worn a bra.
She could have.
No, she couldn't have.
Lastly, the POP we've all been waiting for. Lao G.
Okay. Allow me to say G. It's like, allow me to emphasize the G in Jesus Christ.
What?
Out of all the characters, why Lao G? I'm not knocking Lao G at all. I mean, he's a fun-looking character. I'm sure he's probably he makes a really cool sculpt. But who are they expecting us to cater to?
The Mega House guys are just like, we need to do a Lao G. People just won't shut up about him.
It's like we still don't have like a buggy POP or anything like that, but get out of the way. Here comes Lao G.
Oh boy.
I don't understand this. I don't understand why they would go with Lao G.
I think I would rather have like a Johnny Yosaku POP.
Yeah.
I don't know. Lao G, guys.
I don't know. Like, has Baby 5 gotten a Mega House?
Maybe.
No, she's gotten a Figuarts.
Yeah,
she had a Figuarts. So yeah,
Lao
Figuarts 0.
Lao G.
It's
it's
like that frame of Luffy where he's just confused as to why this isn't working. You know, pre-Eneru face and pre-Boa Hancock surprise. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know why either. And that'll about wrap it up for our Kolektakon sponsored Pieces of Eight segment. Don't forget to go to Kolektakon.com for all your Mega House One Piece Portrait of a Pirate needs.
Cool. Let's get into the next segment. You guys ready?
All right.
This is the Toonami Recap for episode 256, Smash the Wave. Luffy and Zoro use the strongest combo. Before we get into the episode recap, why don't we get into some trending and some ratings. I probably should have given this... I'll give the ratings to Steve, so I'll say the trending as that's happening. Sound good, Steve?
Why do you have to do this live?
I don't know, but because we're a professional podcast, Steve. Trending this week, we actually had some good trends. We were the first trend of the night in the US. One Piece was the first trend, and Sniper King trended at number 3. One Piece trended at number 10. None of the other shows before One Piece trended. Just want to make a note of that. Yes, that includes Attack on Titan. We also trended worldwide. Sniper King, that's big. Samurai Jack also trended worldwide. Those were the only two things that trended worldwide. And on the mobile app, Sniper King. I'm actually going to read through the ratings now quickly. One Piece did well last week, 907,000, so we could stop panicking for now. We should always be panicking. Well, okay, we don't live in the Nixon administration, but we could... It's good that more people are watching. Household rating at 0.6, so good stuff overall. It actually did better than Space Dandy that night. So, both good and bad, I guess. That is compared to last year. One Piece last year got 874,000 at 1 a.m., and Soul Eater, which is the direct slot competition from last year, got 848,000. So, big improvement. That's some good stuff there. Now, I tweeted this episode, so instead of notes, I have tweets. Luckily, I don't think a ton happened, so I think we'll be pretty good.
It was a much slower paced episode.
Yeah, but we did defy physics several times, so let's get into that.
All the time.
I also realized as I
trains cannot run on the ocean. It makes no sense.
No, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. So that was kind of Jerry Seinfeld-ish. So the first thing I noticed is the show's on at 1:30 a.m. I happened to be home at my parents' house this weekend that I watched it, and I realized I should probably not have it on too loudly at 1:30 in the morning because everyone is yelling. Because that's One Piece.
One Piece.
It just happens. So we talked last time. The captains, stepped up. Luffy did the Order of the Triad, I think, as you called it last week.
I did.
I think you mentioned me because no one else got it. Oh no, dude probably got it. And we find out the wave is approaching. Meanwhile, Nami takes out a transponder snail from her breasts, and we find out she actually kept Sanji close to her.
It sounded like you were going to try to think of some sort of clever nickname for that, but you're like, her breasts?
No, well, Ryan won the night on Twitter at Acid Wayne. He said, it's the breast place she could have kept it. Yeah. So Sanji is talking to her. Basically, they both fill each other in. That's basically what happens. And Zoro's like, Sanji, you can't do it alone. And he's like, and Luffy's like, no, you have to let him do it. Wouldn't you go after her alone if you were in his position? Sanji's like, I didn't know you cared about me, Zoro. He's just like pissed about the whole thing.
You forgot about the shenanigans of Frankie and Usopp trying to hold on to the train.
Oh yeah, we had
it's hilarious.
Usopp air swimming. That happened. After that, all those shenanigans, it was hilarious. I don't mean to undersell it. We have T-Bone makes his entrance. We find out he does not have a lot of teeth, and that he would risk anything for his crew. This is my first time hearing his voice. Perfect, I think. I love it. I think it's very
I appreciate him a lot more once I saw him in the dub.
Yeah.
He's a lot of fun.
And I forgot that. What did Sanji say when he was referring to Usopp and Frankie, like just a bunch of dumbasses?
Yeah.
Which I thought, well, I guess it fits Sanji, but I'm just not used to hearing that, I feel like. So the Frankie family just, as the wave is approaching, very, very slowly approaching the boat, not the boat, the Rocket Man, they try shooting the wave. Not the best idea. And then inside the Rocket Man, everyone's panicking, and Nami's trying to talk on the phone. And I think it was an owned piece where they use that giant Nami face with the South Park voice. Sit down and shut up. I can't do that impression very well.
No one wants to hear that impression. That's a terrible. No, nothing against you. That's a terrible voice.
Yeah. And so Luffy and Zoro get up on the top of Rocket Man and prepare. It says 108 times 2, that equals 216. That rounds to 300. So they do their 300 cannon, 300-pound cannon. Is that what it was called?
300, yeah, caliber.
And that blasts a hole in the wave. Not really how things work. And this is not just any hole. It is a Disney ride kind of,
Yeah, Splash Mountain. Or this is different now. This is like a roller coaster.
It's like Splash Mountain and Thunder Mountain put together.
Create some sort of Thunder Splash Mountain.
And I love how, as they come out, he's like, one of the random guys is just like, I'm not afraid of anything anymore. Guy's totally going to die.
Red shirt.
Yeah, he's totally red shirt.
Man, I'm gonna sail on my boat, live forever with my wife.
I forget the conversation. Go on.
I feel like I could take on the whole empire by myself.
Oh, Dak, you didn't.
Meanwhile, I forget that Nami and Sanji were talking like this entire episode to each other, and Sanji ends the conversation by breaking the transceiver, which is super melodramatic. And Usopp, while they're on the boat, is like, look, I can't help you guys. I'm done. Walks off into the distance. I don't know where the hell he's going. Then some other guy comes back, calling himself Sniper King. Who is this? Who could this be? Steve, who do you think it is?
I have no idea. I guess we're not going to know till next week.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out next week. What did you guys think of this episode?
I like, slow pacing, yeah, but I liked it still.
It's a lot of big events in this one. Steve?
Is it really? I don't think it's... I think it was a lot slower paced. It was based around them getting through the wave, and
the two big
talking
things...
with Nami.
I mean, the three big things happened. We knew that was the best place he could have put his phone. He got through the wave and Sniper King. So, it's slow. It was slow, but it wasn't terrible. What was the episode that was really well animated? Was that I think that was 2 weeks ago. I want more of that. I know I'm not going to get it, but I want more of it. Okay, that concludes our Toonami recap. Ready for the anime recap?
Certainly.
I feel like you've used that one a lot. This is the anime recap for episode 648, making a sortie. I don't remember how to pronounce that word. The legendary hero Usoland. Sortie? I forget which it is. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wasn't here last week, so I apologize if I recap kind of like the episode does. Last time we found out that all the toys were turned from humans into devil fruits by Doflamingo 10 years ago, and Law and Doflamingo were locked in a well-animated fight. And Usoland's hockey is to blame for all of everything that we learned. Anyway, this week is pretty cool because we get to see the Tontata's airport. What did you guys think of that?
It was adorable.
It was adorable,
really adorable.
It was adorable, but I couldn't get over the bad animation.
Yeah, I noticed that. We are introduced to Cub and Beyond of the flying squad. They announce their missions. We see the linear foxes, the 20-man bus thing that Usopp and Robin go on. And they head off. So that's it. Meanwhile, the Elder wishes them a booby morning out of Robin's pocket. I don't know what that is a pun for.
It's because he said Oppayo, and that's a mixture of Ohayo and Oppai, which means good morning and breasts.
Yeah, but booby doesn't even sound like good.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
English.
I think like boob morning.
Oh, there you go.
but more
Good morning.
Top of the boob to you. Actually, that one works.
More like bottom of the boob for him.
Oh. It's the breast place.
It's like Robin doesn't care. She's like, oh, it's okay. So she's kind of startled, but it's okay. You could just rest comfortably in my boobs.
What is he gonna do?
Why is Usopp offended?
Anyway, he tells them that this war has actually been going on for 900 years, so this perverted old man actually has some stuff to say. Meanwhile, Frankie and the toy soldier enter through the flower field to the Tontata stronghold, the King Riku Army headquarters. Find out the fairies were actually Tontatas. Can you believe it? Yes?
Get out of here.
Thank you for that.
What?
And Zoro is there, and they're watching the fight with Luffy. And they find out that Usoland is coming with Roboland and the rest of them. I'm not going to name all of them.
All the lands. This land, your land, my land.
I thought that was a fun scene. Okay,
Yeah.
That's all we have to say about that, apparently.
Yeah, it was fun.
We head to the Coliseum. Don Shinjiao's fight continues. He spins like a top. Then Luffy throws a jet cannon at him. And then commercial break. We come back and they fight more. Meanwhile, Sanji and Kinemon watch the fight, talk a little bit. And Burgess shows up to watch the fight with Cavendish and Bartolomeo. Kind of forgot about Burgess being there.
Yeah. For a second.
In both stories. Then we head to the Sunny. Giola turned Nami's climate act into some weird combination of paintings, which Nami confuses for a toy. Chopper's hooves have become bunnies, and Brook's sword has turned into some weird thing. I don't know what it is. So that's fun.
And then when the call happened, I was like, how is Chopper holding the receiver?
Well, the bunnies are biting down on it, I guess. I don't know.
You have to speak up. My hands are bunnies. I think we pointed this out in the manga, which, Jesus, it felt like we did the manga recap for this event like last month.
Yeah, it feels recent.
I feel like the anime is getting so close to where the manga is.
It's not.
Just remember. I know. But I just remember we laughed our ass off when Chopper answered the phone instead of saying, "Hello, who is this?" Like, "Hey, it's me. Come save me."
Without knowing who it was. Then Law calls the Sunny and tells them to head to Greenbitten to drop off Caesar. Not that it's at all possible for them, since they are turned into art. Then we head to Greenbit, where we see Doflamingo lecturing Law for 10 minutes, and that ends the episode. Basically. Informing him, this is the end for you. Luffy's fell into a trap, blah, blah, blah. I mean, basically evil person speech. They fight a little, that's at the beginning of that scene, but that's basically it. What did you guys think of this episode, though?
I think that with the extended fight between Don, Jinjiao, and Luffy, while it is dragging along for some reason, I still really enjoy it, even though Luffy's doing a really bad job of keeping his identity secret.
Well, he's terrible at it.
Yeah.
Steve?
It's pretty obvious that it's Luffy. The animation was It improved towards the second half, but I felt like this one was just very slow. Very, very slow.
All right. Well, I agree with Steve completely. Pretty slow episode. At least it moved around, so it didn't feel super slow, but it was still pretty damn slow. All right. I guess let's get into the next segment. You guys ready?
All right.
Yeah.
This is the Piece Together segment where we take your questions, comments, theories, and turn them into some sort of machine that destroys all of humanity. Let's start on Reddit.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Piece together. Piece together. Piece together. Piece together. It's funny because before we record this episode, actually on this episode, because we talk about the 5-year anniversary. So I didn't realize we sang that much.
I was wondering how long you could go with that.
And I said, no, I don't. I hate to rhyme.
No, you don't. You do it all the time. What was I forgot the line.
I should have said that.
You like musicals, first. Don't you, Dad?
No, it's like, Homer, you sing all the time. No, I don't. I hate to rhyme. You like musicals, don't you, Dad?
No, I don't.
I think they're bad.
Okay, so we have...
Wake up, Zach! You're singing a song.
So we have Reddit questions, comments, theories, all that stuff. Let's start with Adil, of course, one of our news correspondents. He says, has it been specifically mentioned that Fujitori's sword wields the devil fruit powers instead of Fujitora himself?
Yeah, that's been talked about a lot.
No, I think he meant specifically.
It hasn't been stated.
No, nothing has been stated.
But on the show, we've talked about
on the show, yeah. On
panels, yeah.
Actually, funny enough, when I asked that question at the panel at Fanime, most of the people in the panel thought that he had the ability, not the sword.
I know someone pointed out in one panel, he when the ship was flying, he wasn't holding the sword; he was holding a bowl of ramen. So what I'm saying is, it's the bowl of ramen. It's
it makes sense. Slades of Glory asks, "What do you guys think?"
Who is Slade? Who is Slade? Sorry.
What do you guys think?
He'll get it.
What do you guys think will happen with the remaining former Coliseum contestants we haven't seen come back into the story yet? It makes sense for a bounty hunter like Jean Ango. Steve.
John Ongo. I really wouldn't think I'd be saying that again.
To pursue the money rather than help God Usopp. But what about the other fighters who weren't specifically mentioned to be bounty hunters? Mummy, Meadows, Damask, Acilia. Wait, it keeps going.
I forgot about half of these shitty guys.
Rolling Logan, and that lion haven't really been since the end of
lion.
And they weren't too well developed during the actual competition. The most surprising absence to me is the Funks, the Funk Brothers, as they were somewhat developed during the fighting. Yes, we saw them put jackets on. It was creepy. And we also saw them staring in awe at Usopp back in chapter 744. Could we see these characters become involved on the side opposing the Straw Hats, or may they just fade into even further obscurity? And we forgot all these characters, so they're pretty far into obscurity.
These are all Block D guys, right?
No, there's some Block B and Block C.
I forgot about the Mummy.
When random forum goers were speculating that Meadows was going to be like some crazy guy from like Luffy's past or something like that, because you couldn't see his eyes because they were hidden beneath that leopard hood thing.
I'm sorry, I have to look up this guy.
He was Sabo.
I thought Gladius was Sabo, but he had a hat at the time. Oh yeah, Meadows. I would have never remembered that character if I
think
not
Mr.
looked him up.
Pennybags is Sabo because he also wears a hat.
Well, he was defeated in Block D, and that's all we really care about him at this point.
Funk Brothers for cover story. Let's do this.
The way that One Piece Wikia writes it out, it looks like Block D Meadows. Like D is his middle initial.
Last name of Block.
Some of them we might see. Some of them may fade into further obscurity. That's a tough question. I don't think all of them will fade into obscurity, but Mummy and Meadows may fade into obscurity. But I'd be surprised, I guess. I don't know.
I want to ask them back.
They all just sound like bad Scooby-Doo villains.
Well, they are. Yeah. They clearly all are bad Scooby-Doo.
The mask! I'm in love with an ostrich, baby. And just the Straw Hats just running through a hallway.
Yoinks! Zoinks. It's Zoinks.
Freaking Usopp and Chopper are freaking Shaggy and Scooby. Like Zoinks Chopper.
Oh my god. That's what he's setting up.
With the Globetrotters.
Never going to be able to get that out of my head. Brian of the Woods 1 says, is it safe to assume Kobe and Alvida will have a scene in which they have a casual conversation because they look so different from when they even knew each other originally?
I would like to see that.
Yeah, they do look completely different, both of them.
They probably won't even remember each other.
No, yeah. Well, no, Kobe would.
Like, I'm Lady Alvida. It's like, I remember Alvida being an ugly old hag. And I remember Kobe looking like a little bitch.
I mean,
it just turns into like a yo mama battle, apparently.
Yeah, William?
Yeah, considering Kobe's, like, Marine, he should probably know, like, all the infamous pirates.
He was her slave for 3 years, wasn't he? I mean, I remember that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Kobe knows what Alvida looks like now. Alvida wouldn't know what Kobe looks like, but then again, why would Kobe and Alvida just have a casual conversation if they're Marine and pirates?
Anyway, Black Steel.
It's fictional storylines. Everyone has conversations in battle.
Wait, they have conversations. Black Steel says, what is your favorite type of ice cream, or would you recommend Oda try?
Chunky Monkey D. Luffy.
It's supposed to relieve pain from swelling. It's for the tonsillitis,
okay.
So it is related to something.
William's ready for that one.
Well, it's funny you should ask. I am a big advocate of ice cream.
So am I. Wow.
No, I think my favorite flavor of ice cream now is, you probably wouldn't be able to get it anywhere besides. I don't even think even in the Northeast and most
better
places
say Americone Dream.
No, because shut up. I'm telling a story.
Fine.
We have this small chain of kind of gas station marts, I guess, I don't know what to call them, called Stewart's, and they make their own ice cream, and they have a flavor. It's a seasonal one in the summer. It's called Happy Camper, and it is graham cracker flavored ice cream.
Ooh.
With marshmallows in it, and not just pieces of chocolate, but tiny little peanut butter cups, and it is the shit.
Now, I don't know, I haven't had that ice cream, but have you ever had frozen yogurt in the city, Steve? 16 handles?
I don't know if I've ever had 16 handles.
I recommend it. There's one, I think, on the Lower East Side, so I know you venture down there a lot, so you should definitely go. They have graham cracker froyo, which tastes probably relatively similar. It's the most graham crackery tasting ice cream / frozen yogurt I've ever had, and plus you could put any toppings on there. You know, it's a
that's like every frozen yogurt place now.
But 16 handles, I guarantee you, will change the world of froyo for you. So. Definitely there. My favorite for my whole life has been the Haagen-Dazs coffee for froyo or ice cream. Either one. I'm trying to transition to frozen yogurt from ice cream because they kind of taste the same and it's a little healthier. So, Stephen,
I really like. There's a chain. It's actually a Hawaiian ice cream chain, but they have a couple spots around the West Coast called Lappert's, and it's sort of like Haagen-Dazs. It's like super rich, but it's all like fruit and like nut flavors, kind of like it's not as crazy and varied as like Baskin Robbins or whatever, but that's really good. And they also make that Dole Whip stuff that's like the pineapple sorbet kind of thing, and those are amazing.
That sounds good.
Oh, Dole Whip. If you haven't gone tangent, if you've been to Disneyland, they have a Dole Whip float. Oh, it's amazing.
I've never had that.
Basically, it's like root beer float, but it's pineapple juice with the pineapple soft serve in it. It's really good.
Sounds pineapple-y. Now, William, you probably could give us the most accurate answer here you already did for what a Chunky Monkey you said.
Obviously, Chunky D Monkey.
Yeah. Chunky
Monkey, Chunky Monkey D Luffy. But I was looking on the Ben & Jerry's Japanese website, and there's some
I'm kind
Japanese
of
ones.
Yeah.
And there's a flavor called Clever Cookie, which is apparently vanilla ice cream, big chocolate cookies, and chocolate chip cookies. And it's flavored. It's chunky cookie flavored. There's also matcha made in heaven. So match made in heaven.
That sounds good.
Mocha?
Yeah.
Nice.
No,
Matcha,
it's matcha.
green
It's
tea.
the really bitter green tea.
Yeah, no, I do know that. Yeah, I do like that.
And then there's a flavor called fish food.
Oh, I know fish food. Yeah, they have that here too. That stuff's great.
Oh.
Yeah.
That does not sound good at all, to be honest.
No, it's a lot of people here like it. I don't know, maybe it's different ingredients in Japan. But guys, I do have to say, that was my favorite piece together question we've ever gotten.
I was going to say, you could tell this struck a chord with us.
Do you think we're going to see dragons soon? Fuck, I don't know. God
We were
damn
talking
it.
about ice cream.
Oh, God. Why do we have to talk about One Piece?
When did we start
Guys,
the
let me
ice
talk
cream
about
podcast?
ice cream.
Why do you have to come in here and ruin everything with your One Piece?
Steve, let's start an ice cream podcast. Every single day.
Every single day, then once a week, then once a month, then once a never.
Okay, no, good question. And actually, somewhat related. Right, so I guess, which is the most soothing, though, for Oda for his tonsillitis? I guess the Chunky D Monkey. I guess that's probably the best answer.
No, Chunky Monkey D Luffy.
He's going to eat Luffy. Okay, next question. Defatlantis. Defatlantis? Anyway, he asks, where do you think the remaining Whitebeard pirates are, and when do you think they'll show up again?
Scattered to the winds.
Sooner than later.
They're on a cruise.
They have to come back somehow. Like there has to be something going on.
I'm sure they're still together, but I'm sure things are not what they used to be.
Yeah, they're not probably not in their glory days.
You can't just keep telling me what to do, Marco. Well, I'm the captain now, and you got to remember that. You're not the real captain. Well, I'm active captain. I miss Pops. Me too. And then they just cry.
Steve gave you the best answer to that question, actually acting out a scene.
They're sitting around. They're still not over it.
Typeset asks, will Monet come back into this arc? If so, on whose side?
Wait.
Is she alive?
First of all, maybe
Of course
she's alive. Do you think she's alive, Stephen?
Yes. Yeah.
She got a knife through her heart. Oh.
She's perfect
Oda will
cover
bring her
story
back.
material, obviously.
All right. She got stabbed in the heart. Let's just say, okay, so she's alive. But why would she switch sides?
Well,
Swerve.
she does. I mean, she does have some kind of enigmatic behaviors that are, I guess, kind of unexplained. Like, we don't really still know all that much about her. We have a general idea of the chronology, you know, that she got turned into a harpy and that other stuff. But I don't know. She's still very mysterious, kind of in a Robin-like way. So I think there's room for Oda to do something with her. But yeah, I mean, I don't think she's dead. Not at all.
Dubiono. I love everyone's name on this. They're all ridiculous. He has 2 questions. Let's see if we could get through both. How do you guys feel that how the anime has been handling Dressrosa versus Fishman Island and Punk Hazard? Improvement, same? What do you guys think?
I have fewer gripes in Dressrosa than Fishman Island.
I've been enjoying it, so I can't say they've been handling it like Fishman Island. I don't know. It's the anime these days. It has its ups and downs.
Okay. His next question is, have you considered making a section of the podcast dedicated to animators, animation directors of One Piece and their styles? I think it would be a nice way to give attention to a group of very underappreciated people. And Yonko Productions also adds to that we should have Murad on the show. If you don't know Murad, he tweets a lot about the animation, directors, everyone involved in the crew, and he knows, I'd say, far more than all of us on that subject.
Yeah, he would be the best one to have on for that.
Yeah, I'd say if we are going to do that, I'd bring him on because I don't think any of us could do it justice, but...
I've asked him on the show before. I believe he's said, you know, I don't think he's felt comfortable with it or something, but, you know, let him know. I've let him know that we're interested, and I'll let him know again.
But I don't know if an audio podcast is the best way to cover this.
I feel Zach would be buried under images to edit into the AAC feed if you were to.
And it's hard to also do video without kind of butting heads with toy animation.
Right.
If someone put together YouTube videos, you know, going through it, I think that does exist. I just don't know a link to it, but I think that's probably the best way.
I'm sure it would be really fast. Like, you know, you could theoretically, you know, just put together clips and say, okay, this is this director's style, and then, you know, have a list of scenes where it's like, okay, look at this particular animation. You can see this is their signature thing. Like, that would be really interesting, but that's just a really logistically challenging thing to put together and to not, you know, run afoul of the rights holders and stuff like that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They're very fascinating. It's a very fascinating part of One Piece we don't talk about that much, and and they are very underappreciated. In fact, I think I'll look for the link for this and see if I can put it in the description. But there's an Indiegogo that several animators have set up to try and build dormitories for people who are in that industry. For those that don't know, this is one of the reasons we try and support the official release so much, is that they get paid very little for what they do. A lot of the lower down people on the animation ladder, and even some of the higher rung people, I think, you know, still it's harder to make ends meet. William, you could probably say more about that even.
I only remember the manga artist for One Punch Man saying that the wage he would get during his animation training. By the way, for those who didn't know, Murata Yusuke is currently undergoing animation training while trying to keep up with a 2-week, rather irregular 2-week schedule for the One Punch Man manga chapters. He said the wage was really low and he wouldn't be able to live off of that. So, yeah, that's the only thing I know.
Crushing dreams.
Just so you know. But yeah, if you've got passion, you know.
Okay, so the next question comes from Yonko Productions. What do you guys think Kaido looks like? And if he has a devil fruit, what do you think it is? He thinks it's the dragon one. I think we've talked a little bit about this, but what do you guys think?
Well, isn't his nickname King of Beasts?
So we know he's got to be some sort of beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, yeah, go ahead.
He could be a lion.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Like,
Just
well,
sort of like
obviously
a
a
lion,
lion, you know.
Yeah, a lion-y version of, you know, Jabra or Lucci or something like that. I don't know. I would hope it's something kind of cool.
All he needs is courage. Courage, I tells you. I just need an army.
Last Reddit question. No Last Name 100 says, what do you think the significance of Oda hiding the King of Goa's face was? Do you think that he might be saving his reveal for the Reverie?
Sure.
Could be. He might not matter as much.
This is some riveting discussion we're having here.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
No. That's
the king of the King of Goa will really do. Yeah.
It's tough to say. By the way, the Indiegogo met its goal. I think it's only open for another 6 hours, so I probably by the time you're listening to this, it'll be done. It made $11,892 out of its $10,000 goal, so nice.
Cool.
Okay, so why don't we get into our favorite segment? Who wants to do this part?
Peace the tweet. Yeah.
It's that time of the show where we take your Twitter questions, comments, theories. We call it Piece the Tweet. Let's start with our first question. Do you think the two fighters with Luffy will be controlled by Doflamingo when they fight? What the hell does that mean?
With his powers.
Oh, with his power.
Abdul and Jeet.
Oh, the two fighters, Abdul and Jeet. I don't think so. Well, I guess it's always possible because it's Doflamingo.
I mean, I think that it probably wouldn't make that big of a difference to Luffy. I mean, I guess the caveat is that maybe he wouldn't want to hurt them, but on the other hand, he doesn't really seem to care about them very much.
Yeah.
So
they're not exactly.
It could,
friends.
yeah. It could just be like a comedy beat thing where Doflamingo's like, well, let's see if you can hurt these guys, and then Luffy just like socks him or something.
Next question we got. Let's see. This one is from One Piece at a Time, Monkey D. Pirate. Steve. No, we're not doing that. Never mind.
One Piece at a time. Sorry, Steve.
The question is, when One Piece podcast goes to Japan, is released in Japan, will it be Japanese sub or dubbed for Japanese viewers? Steve, I think you know the answer to this.
I do. Lucky for the Japanese fans, there will be a Japanese dub produced. There's just going to be some minor changes. Some jokes are going to be translated to fit, Japanese culture a little bit better. The narration at the beginning is going to be done instead by Toshiyuki Morukara, and Zach will now be dubbed over by Norio Wakamoto.
Yes, I think my voice and Norio Wakamoto's voice share much in common. So I'm looking forward to that. It will be both incredible and amazing. It's exciting. That's not happening.
And hey, as we know in the English version, it's I am excited and ready, and in the Japanese version, will be known by Suge.
I've learned that is not the one I should be using in most places.
But it's in my anime. It's how people in cool Japan talk.
I very highly doubt it will be in Japan. I think it's probably going to be not available there, but we'll find out. We don't know yet. If for those curious, we are going through the final stages of the approval process now. I still don't know how long that process will take. We do appreciate everyone's patience, including ours. I mean, of course, we also really want to show you guys. It's this is just the process that we have to go through. But the movie is done. Jose's off at his new job, so it's set. If there are any changes that need to be made, we'll make those changes and we'll release it as soon as it is done. First to the Kickstarter viewers, and then probably a week or so later, maybe a couple days later, to general viewers everywhere. So next question. This one's from Curious Dog, who says, many fans argue that Zoro is the show's main rival character to Luffy. Do you think that there is a main rival, and who would it be?
I don't know. I mean, there have been points where Oda kind of like very temporarily sets them against each other in a way. Like, there was that scene in Whiskey Peak where they fought for like 10 seconds before Luffy realized that Zoro didn't attack all of the Baroque Works people because they stopped giving them food or whatever excuse he had come up with in his head. I don't think that is actually a real thing. I mean, if he has a rival, it's it would be like Blackbeard or Buggy or something like that. I don't think that really corresponds to Zoro.
And this week we got our very own SBS question from Yonko Productions. Can Pika's penis stone assimilate into Dressrosa?
What, can he like grow a big stone dick? Is that
I have
question?
No idea.
Yeah.
But it sounds like an SBS
question. Can the island of Dressrosa be his penis?
I think he could make it whatever he wants it to make it. But with
Only
that voice,
if he undress roses.
With that voice, it might be tough. I don't know how that works.
Okay. I don't know. I was just going to joke that he has really big, balls of stone, but maybe that's not actually true based on his voice.
I'm glad I asked that.
Up in my stomach.
Sometimes we act too mature, I feel like, so I'm trying to bring it down a notch. We have some emails. This one comes from Liam Tasker. My theory is that Nami will be able to use Lola's Vivre card to convince Big Mom that they are friends of Lola. And Big Mom will call off her vendetta on the Straw Hats and let Nami and the others go to Zoe. Then, sometime later, she'll decide to open the Tamatabako that Luffy sent her, which will explode. I forgot about that.
I forgot about that, too.
Wow, good job, Liam. Which will explode because the Minister of the Right filled it with bombs, and she'll renew her vendetta against the Straw Hats.
I was saying, I thought that was the reason. I'm assuming that was the reason why she was coming after them firstly.
Well, she was coming after them because Luffy told her that he ate all of the candy that she was supposed to get. Mm. But yeah, actually, I like that. That's almost like what happened with Mr. 2 way back when like he, they had that little mix up in the fog, and he ended up on their ship, and they're like getting along like a grand old time, and then just as soon as they part ways, he's like, "Wait a second, those were the Straw Hats," and then he had to go chase back after them. So I could definitely see something like that.
It's almost like that joke that from the SBS, it's like you play along with the gag, and then you're like, wait a second, but different kind of way. I completely forgot about that. Okay. This one is from Admiral Sato. Hey, One Piece podcast crew. This time, my punctuation will be on point. I get it. So this goes back to the podcast episode 317 about how Josh wants to spread Josh Koschrek, brand manager for One Piece at Funimation, wants to spread One Piece across America. I mean, we got the manga ad in the New York Times. What do you guys think about billboards by Adult Swim or Funimation across cities, or Funimation or Adult Swim sending out posters and maybe special edition DVDs, Blu-rays, or contests of One Piece so fans could put them up in public places? Or would you guys have any suggestions how people can know about One Piece the proper way? In my opinion, I think a slow word-to-word through different kinds of comic and anime conversations helps best. Especially if they want to do sneak peeks of future releases for One Piece, it helps increase curiosity for people.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
First of all, it's kind of like a question I asked Josh back when we did the Strong World commentary about putting the commercial or the trailer for the movie on TV, and he said, well, that costs money. And a lot of money. And I'm pretty sure billboards in major cities cost a lot of money. But
Adult Swim does do it a lot, yeah.
Funny enough, how?
Funimation.
Let's explain the joke.
That was quite humorous. There was a billboard ad with Luffy on it, but I think that was for Uniqlo.
Yeah,
right?
Uniqlo did do that. I have a picture of that somewhere. So that did exist. Uniqlo had a bunch of One Piece stuff around New York City.
I think times are different. It's not just you're not going to see that on a billboard like, what a scoop, And it's like it's a lot of advertising. I think they focus more on the internet, which makes sense. Most people are on the internet. Most people are on their Facebook. Most people are on their Twitter. So those little ads you see on the side sometimes, or just tweeting out there or posting on Facebook, I think goes a lot further than just one billboard in a major city.
And we talked to Josh on. Oh, go ahead, Stephen.
Oh, I was going to say, like, at this point in the history of One Piece in English, I think it's a known quantity at this point. Like, certain people, there will always be people that sort of come and go, and are find an interest in One Piece or get bored of it. But it's basically out there, and it does well for Funimation, and it's one of their kind of staple properties, but it's not going to explode. And I think if they're going to spend a lot of money on billboards or on something that they feel is confident to kind of help them rocket up the property, it's not going to be One Piece. It's going to be Attack on Titan, because that's just the kind of
that would be a good billboard too.
That's the kind of visibility that has. That's like the Game of Thrones right now. That's the thing that they would put a lot of money into promoting, because it's just bringing in so many people that are from outside of anime. And for whatever reason, One Piece just doesn't quite have that kind of impact. It does fine. It does great for Funimation, but I just don't think that they're going to find it worthwhile to push it in that kind of way.
And One Piece definitely does have crossover appeal, but I think the length, and Steve and I, we've discussed this before, it started to become, that's been the hindrance or the obstacle for people to start a lot of the time. When we spoke to Josh, though, we spoke about the possibility of maybe doing a tug event or something. So since Film Z's coming out probably in late September. So I think if there's interest in that, please let us know. I'm sure there is. I want to try and put something like that together. I know Jose tried that for Ghost in the Shell. Wasn't so successful. I think if it's a premiere for Z, it would be very cool, or coming out around the same time the Blu-ray comes out. I'd personally love to see it in theaters, even if it's a small one, especially if it's in the one we saw Akira at Steve. I think that would be a cool kind of concept.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, you could eat and drink and watch some One Piece in a theater with other people.
It's the way Luffy would have wanted it.
Yeah, I think Film Z is the best next best chance we have for some type of billboard style promotion.
Yeah, it's the crossover appeal is difficult. I think that concludes our Piece Together segment, though. Good note to leave on. Of course, I hope for another New York Times ad, but that was probably a once in a how many 400 million, 300 million?
Years.
No, not years. Copies.
Maybe when they hit 500 million, then we'll
or a billion.
talk. Yeah.
I think they should take out another ad if they do that. Okay, so let's round off this podcast.
Okay.
This has been the unofficial One Piece podcast for the week of Monday, June 9th, 2014. Good episode today. We had the news. We had a Volume 74 recap. We had anime recap, Toonami recap, pieced together. Good show all around. Kolektakon segment that we kind of got to do with Dennis this week, so that's fun. Dennis, stuff's going on at AX. Do you want to talk a little bit about it?
Yep, for any One Piece fan, Friday is your day for Anime Expo. I know that there's the Kill the Kill event going on at that same day, but if you can't get to the Kill the Kill event, come to all the AX One Piece stuff. First off, 4:30, there's going to be an industry One Piece panel. I'm sorry, that's actually the second thing. But Industry One Piece panel, that one's pretty big. We'll have a bunch of friends that members of the podcast know to be hosting that. And we'll see if they have some type of announcement. It might be like a history of.
I think we need to mention the fact that this is a pretty big deal.
This is a big deal, yeah.
It's a really big deal.
For all the cons I've been going to, I have never seen an actual official One Piece panel besides like the Strong World premiere. I've never seen an industry run One Piece panel until AX. And
so which industry is this run by? Do we have information?
So far I know that Viz, Eric Eberhardt, marketing manager, he's on the Shonen Jump podcast. He is the one that's helping set up this One Piece panel that's happening at Anime Expo. He also said that there are other industry guests that are going to be there. And if you've attended Anime Expo in the past, you know that both Funimation and Toei Animation are going to be at AX.
And Funimation.
Yep.
So we'll
see a couple of people there.
And I know we'll definitely be in attendance. I don't think we're going to want to miss this.
Yes, we will be in attendance. If you're in cosplay, 2:00 is the unofficial. This is the
it's all Friday, July 4th. Yeah.
This is all on Friday, 2 p.m. Friday, July 4th, outside of the West Hall, like near Staples Center. That's where the One Piece cosplay gathering is going to be. I will also be handing out, courtesy of Viz, a bunch of promotional stuff. So if you missed San Diego Comic-Con last year, we have a bunch of Shonen Jump energy drinks to give you a boost, which I'm definitely going to have to take because we have Zach. What else do we have after the official One Piece panel?
Well, I'm happy to announce that we have our own panel, the One Piece podcast panel. As always, I think this is our 4th or 5th year doing a AX panel.
I think fourth since 2010, right?
I think it's 2010.
Yeah.
That makes sense actually.
Nope.
No, it's 4th, because otherwise it would be 2009, right? 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, no, you're right. 5th year running. We are going to be hosting a panel that's going to be at 7:30. I believe that is in Live Events 4. I will double-check that right now. We are so happy to be doing that. I don't think I will be there. Steve will be there. Dennis will be there.
Steven.
Yeah, I should be there.
I'm ecstatic. I just booked my flight now to California. It is official. I will be at AX, and I don't know. I haven't been to like a new big con in a long time, so I'm kind of. I know I've been kind of numb to most con shenanigans these days, so I'm kind of really looking forward to AX.
Just to repeat the time and place, it is 7:30 p.m. in LP4, and that is on Friday, July 4th. Do not miss it. Of course, there'll be free stuff, lots of it. Pack that room again.
Come find us, because, that's a long day of One Piece. 2:00, cosplay gathering. 4:30 to 6, industry One Piece panel. 7:30
to 8:30.
It's our panel.
And then fireworks, guys. We'll all go see the fireworks.
Hell yeah.
There's fireworks?
That's
It's
July
July
4th.
4th. It's to celebrate a day of One Piece.
But I'm all about Japan and Suge.
But they have fireworks in Japan, Steve. A lot of them.
They do?
I believe
They're
they
better
came
in
from.
You can see they're from Japan. You can see them from Japan. All for Anime Expo.
So don't miss any of that. As we said at the top of the show, Dennis, you were at Fanime. This was now 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And we're going to have the panel you recorded. You were nice enough to put that together for us. That's going to be on next week's episode. I'm excited to hear about that. I don't think much has happened in the manga since you did that.
Yeah, that chapter was the debut of Pika's voice. So luckily with this 2-week break, there hasn't been too much progression. So yeah. And if the panel audio recording sounds good, we'll do the same thing for our AX panel too.
Ooh, excited for that. It's always fun to hear audio from panels, especially when you're not at them. I'm gonna be depressed that week. Yeah, so check that all out. If you haven't, also, Steve, I know you also were on. You and I were both on at separate times. The Toonami Faithful podcast 100th episode. They did a live episode, which, as I think we're also all aware, it entails its own technical issues and struggles, but did a good job. I think that's probably going to be on around the same time that this comes on. So that's Jose's last episode, so give it a listen. And I think
Have we actually mentioned what happened with Jose on the podcast?
Have we on the podcast? I forget now.
I actually mentioned it on the Toonami Recap last week.
All right.
Oh,
Because Jose was on it.
Well, of course,
Because
again,
you wouldn't know, Steven.
whatever.
of course
Such a diva.
Of course, we wish him a huge congratulations
Yeah.
for that job. And Stephen, I think you tweeted something. I'll let you say it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I said that it's the One Piece podcast's Midas touch because it seems like everyone who is involved with this podcast, their dreams come true at some point.
My dreams haven't come true.
Dream
You're
harder.
next, Steve.
Yeah, it's
I'm probably be the last person to accomplish my dream. I'm gonna be like 43 years old.
Well, the podcast will still be going on, so it qualifies.
I'll be the host, hosting with a bunch of fucking teenagers.
There you go.
Let's
Listen to Grandpa Steve tell One Piece stories.
They're just marking out about the anime. Like, I remember when the anime looked less shitty 10 years ago. Bretts. It's gonna be like Carson Daly on the Dave Chappelle skit when he's still hosting TRL. It's like, how can you keep cheering for a video you've seen 55 effing times? Fuck.
So anyway, let's go through everyone. First, Dennis, how can the good people contact you?
You can contact me on Twitter at Ichnob, ICHNOB. Also, I do the Cosplay Jam podcast, which is featured on Stitcher, along with our website, skcosplay.com. We just put out an episode where we interviewed the representatives and winners for World Cosplay Summit, Green Jello Cosplay. They're cool people.
And let's see, William, what's going on with you?
what is going on with me. I am still trying to write stuff for the One Piece Podcast.com news segments. So go read those, even though there's not that much real news. I
Well, it's
do
One
recommend.
Piece. There's always fake news. Yeah.
I do recommend you to still go on the website frequently, as well the One Piece podcast website as the official One Piece website, because I do not talk about the merchandise that appears on the One Piece website.
Because
and
they post a lot of that. Yeah.
They post a lot of it. I try to keep up with that in the beginning, but it just took way too much time, and usually I had to try and invent some kind of description. While it's usually pretty obvious. Like it's a One Piece clock. What do you want me to say about it? So yeah, but I do try to post if there's no article or interviews that have to be translated. I try to find some old stuff from One Piece I can get my hands on, like the Romance Dawn Volume 2 segment, or the Oda's first publication thing, stuff like that. So yeah.
And where can people find you?
They can find me, mostly
Twitter.
there. And if they want to follow me on Twitter, even though most of my tweets are in Japanese, they can follow me at G. Hennequin.
Steven, what about you?
Well, if you like, you can follow me on Twitter at Translatosaurus. That's TRANSLATOSAURUS. And yeah, that's about it. Okay. Not much going on these weeks. Not many chapters.
That's a good thing in a way. I mean, you get a little time off.
Yeah, a little break from one of a dozen different things that I have to do.
Oh, right, all of those.
Yeah.
Okay, well, still good. And Steve, anything going on with you?
Yeah, just you can follow me at Steve Yurko on Twitter, and follow me on Tumblr at steveyurko.tumblr.com. Definitely pay attention to Tumblr. I'm hoping to make some big updates very soon.
And who wants to take the plunge into telling how people could contact all of us?
Well, Zach. Oh, by all means.
No, go ahead.
Well, you could go to our website. That's onepiecepodcast.com. Subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. Check out all our pages on facebook.com/onepiecepodcast, twitter.com/onepiecepodcast, onepiecepodcast.tumblr.com. Email us, onepiecepodcast@gmail.com. I could do it. I can do this. Stitcher Radio. We're on there.
YouTube.
I did.
You did.
I will continue. And our phone number. Zach.
That phone number is 347-497-MAJI. That phone number is 347-497-6254. Call anytime with your questions, comments, theories, and ice cream flavors. Thank you for
know all of your ice cream favorites. Would you prefer if I just talked really close to the microphone like this?
This has been one weird episode this week. If you want to follow me, you can follow me at twitter.com/Zach_Logan. But, you know, I also tweet for the podcast, so it depends what you want to hear from me. Thank you all for listening. Next week, we are going to, again, have the Fanime panel, Toonami anime recap, possibly some other cool little surprises. We'll find out. Maybe, maybe not. It'll be a surprise, whether there are surprises. So, tune in next week, and the manga returns, remember, on the 23rd. So, for the unofficial One Piece podcast, my name is Zach.
And my name is Steve.
Goodbye, everyone.
Later.
And remember, the best element of a podcast is the element of surprise. Surprise! I got that.
This is a test recording of the unofficial One Piece podcast. My name is Zach.
Test. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't explain the context. Quoting Mick Jagger in the episode of Simpsons when Homer goes to rock camp, and it's like, that means you go to the microphone and you say, test. Sorry.
Stephen?
Smithers, have the Rolling Stones killed?
William? Go ahead, Stephen.
No, just making sure I give you my regular voice.
William?
Happy birthday, Mr. Smithers. I don't remember anything from that.
That's a good.
That's pretty good.
I have to include that.
Okay, let me run it through.